Hour 2, Big Silz National Football, Joe. Let me see who the Niners have played over the last month versus who the Eagles have played. San Francisco 49ers schedule. Let's take a look on who they have played this year. Let's see. Let me see here. Who they've beaten. Let's see here. By the way, Christian McCaffrey is a star. Wow. He is a star. Here we go. So they beat a playoff team that's right now in the playoff picture in Seattle last night. Let's see who else they beat. They beat the Buccaneers, who are going to win the NFC South. And Brady destroyed them. They destroyed the Dolphins, who were in the 4 seed in the playoffs. So they 3 straight playoff teams? Get out of here. The 49ers, the 49ers have played 3 straight playoff teams and destroyed them? Let's see who the Eagles have played. Who the Philadelphia Eagles played in the last 3 weeks? Let's see here. They beat the Titans. Okay, that's a good win. I told you that's a good win. Packers are so far out of the playoff picture, it's a joke. They beat the Colts by 1. Hey. When's the last time you played a playoff team? Probably the Titans. It's got to be the Titans. Shit, man. 49ers just played 3 straight playoff teams. Can't deny that. Let's see here. They played the Giants, Tennessee, Green Bay, and Indy in the last 4 games. Wow. Dimes Jones. And then you got the 3-10. Now you got the 3-10 Bears. Wow. Jesus Griminy. You guys are really knocking down barriers with the shitty teams you're playing. How you doing, man? Last 3 weeks, the 49ers have destroyed playoff teams with who cares who's quarterbacking. They put a dude named Brock Purdy. It's like Ian Book in its Super Bowl and at the quarterback to have a Super Bowl run for them, and they're still killing teams. Woo, man. That 49er team is playing the best football of any team in the NFC over the last month. Absolutely, hands down, not a question and not a debate. Dimes Jones to the Bears. Wow, man. I mean, this is just too much. This guy, wait a minute. They destroyed Tom Brady in the process, too. Dimes Jones. Oh, come on, Silz. Calling the Bucs a play. They are a playoff team. They're going to win the South. By the way, Adam, hey, beat Brady before you talk shit on him. The Bucs made that guy look like a fool last year at the quarterback position. Jalen Hurts. He looked like a fool. Bucs stink by default. They killed you 10 months ago. They killed you. Get a different team. I know. Still Brady. And you still have Jonathan Gannon. The great, you know what I call Jonathan Gannon? The great equalizer. He's the great equalizer. Titans, Giants, Commanders are playoff teams. I said the last 3 weeks, Brett. Don't change it on me, man. We smoked the Commanders in game. You got beat by the Commanders. Hey, wait a minute. Is that right? Is that how that worked? Let me see that. Oh, that can't be the truth. Wait a minute. Philadelphia Eagles in the last month of the season. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go here. No. I want this one. So here's your last 4 games. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, shit, man. Last 4 games have been Indy, Green Bay, Tennessee, and the Giants. And the game before Indy, you got beat. So who's been playing better ball over the last month and a week? The Niners. Damn. Facts again. Damn, Silz. You know, you guys are really great. You point it all out to me. You guys lead me. It's wonderful. Oh, it's great, man. Thank you very much. So in the last month, you got beat by Washington, and you've played Dimes Jones and another dual threat. And the Niners have played 3 straight playoff teams. And you're going to try to tell me you think the Eagles are playing better ball than them when you beat inferior teams. Let's just say this. You've played inferior teams to the Niners the last month. Inferior. So before you start barking about playing the best ball, now here, to quantify that and to be fair, have the Eagles played the best football of any team in the NFL all season long for 13 games? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is a fact. Last month, no. You're not playing better. With a headless horseman team in San Francisco, too. Who's the quarterback? I don't know. I don't know. Dude, if Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback, that team would win the Super Bowl. You guys go, no, he wouldn't. Why? He's been there. Why? He's been there. Look at Brian keep talking about regular season accomplishments. Wake me up when you get to the postseason, son. And this unit has some success in the postseason. Here, here. I had to do it one more time, Xander. Here's the Eagles under Jalen Hurts' watch and their first playoff experience. Game. Game. It is laughable, Philiopolis. You have accomplished nothing. Eagles are 5-1 against playoff teams. 5-1 against playoff teams? The Giants aren't making the playoffs. What do you look at this schedule now? And look at it like a college schedule? The Dolphins are going to make it. The Giants are not. The Titans might not. Well, no. As a matter of fact, here's who I think makes the playoffs in the NFC. Okay? Here are the teams that I think at the end of the day and at the end of the regular season, here are the teams that I think make it to the NFC. I think the Lions are going to make it. As a matter of fact, the Lions are the best team that you've played so far this year. The Lions, the 6-7 Lions, have been the best team that you've played. What about the record of the Vikings? Lions just beat them. The best team you've played is the 6-7 Lions. Oh my God. No, it makes it sound right. Makes it sound not as good, the 12-1 record. Don't worry about it. Get home field advantage. No one cares. Okay? The Lions are the best team you've played this year. The Lions. Number 6, I think the Washington Commanders do make it. They got a pretty good coach. You got a good coordinator. They got a good defense. This kid, Tyler Heineke's pretty good. I think they'll be in the 6 hole. Brett says, at least finish my chat when I send you money. Commanders game 1. I apologize, Brett. You're right. Game 1, look at the stats. 9 sacks, win average, 5 and 6 a game, breaking season record for sacks and TDs. What is Jalen's record over the last 23 games? Keep talking regular season, Brett. Great. Wake me up when he graduates to the big boy table. You know what the big boy table is? Here's the big boy table. Xander, get ready. This is like the you know what Christmas time you have like the big folks table where all the parents sit. Then you get the little kiddie table. Jalen's at the little kiddie table. Okay, here's at the big table. You got Burrow, Allen, Mahomes. You got Herbert over here. That's a big boys table. And over here at the little kiddie table, you know, we get mac and cheese and stuff like that, right? Jalen's at the little kiddie table. Jalen, little kiddie table. Who else is young? Dak's at the kiddie table. Dak is, you know what the problem with Dak, though? See, Dak's getting too old for the kiddie table. You know when you sit in those little tiny chairs, Dak's about ready to break his chair. Dak's at the kiddie table. He's been there too long, man. But see, nobody wants to invite him to the big table for Christmas dinner. He's at the little kiddie table. Jalen's over here at the little kiddie table with Dak. Tyler Heineke, all them other guys over there. They all sit at the little kiddie table. Make sure you don't spill any of your Coke out of your sippy cup. You see, Jalen's still drinking out of a sippy cup. And you know, Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and those guys, they're drinking out of mugs. That's a big boy table. And you got the little kiddie table. Jalen's still drinking out of the sippy cup, and these other guys are drinking out of mugs. They drink their beer out of bottles. No. Hurts is at the head of the kiddie table. Yeah, I believe that. Sure is. Jalen's at the head of the kiddie table? Yeah, man. Absolutely, he's at the head of the kiddie table. He's got the biggest sippy cup, too, of anybody. Oh, my God, are you kidding me? They gave shit, he's playing so well, Jalen. They gave him a binky. Look at this guy. Number one in pass percentage, and he's this and that, and he's 12-1. And I mean, shit, man. I mean, got to give him $50 million. I'm not doing that. I've already learned my lesson with Carson Wentz. I'm not doing that shit again. I'm going to hang in there for a little bit. You don't like it? I'm going to do what Baltimore did. And if you're not careful, what I'll do, I'll give you like a bonus for a year so you can have a bonus next year so you're not making shit money. And I'll franchise tag you for 3 years to see if this thing works. Just like Dak, just like Cousins, just like everybody else. I'll franchise you for $30 million. Relax, clutch. I have the upper hand here. Oh, you don't think the Eagles are going to get Jackie with this? Yes, sir, baby. I think the Lions sitting at the little kiddie table. It's all right. Silz mocks the dual threat. Dual threat blows. There's too many variables that can go wrong in that whole thing, especially when you pay them guys. You got to rip half your team apart to keep them. You're relying on their wheels and their arm. Remember something. I hear people saying Jalen Hurts can sit back in the pocket like Patrick Mahomes and win NFL games. That is so far from the truth. So far from the truth. He's not going to sit back there and throw the ball 45 times in a game and win you consistent games. He's not. That's not what he is. Well, he could do that. Yeah, you damn right he could at $1.4 million. When you've got the highest paid O-line in the league. Do you know the Eagles have the highest paid offensive line in the league? You think that dynamic stays intact with a $50 million quarterback? Why don't you ask Kansas City when they had to dump half their O-line and put all their money in Orlando Brown, who they're not happy with? Oh, my God. No, don't tell me that. Hey, whoa. Don't be thinking that I think that the Cowboys are going to beat you or you're not better than them. I think you're by far better than the Cowboys. The Cowboys, let me tell you what they run under. Delusion. The Cowboys are coached with delusionary GMs, delusionary coaches, and they're delusionary fans. Everything in Dallas, in my opinion, is hype and no context. Because when I say something about the Eagles, at least they've done the most important thing that you could possibly do. They win. Now, Dak's owned you. He's owned the Eagles. I think that changes. Okay? The Dallas Cowboys. Dude, you're big at... Here, I'm going to talk about the Niners here. The Cowboys? Really? Look, friends, everyone's going to pump this game up. And they're using you. Your only threat is in San Francisco. It's not the guy in Dallas. It's not. I don't see it. I don't see it. The only team that you're going to have, maybe Brady in the post. Watch this. If you get Brady in the divisional round, well, you might get the Cowboys again. I don't know. They're a wild card team, and they're going to be a wild. You might get them. Okay? I don't care about the Christmas game. It's about playoffs. Anton, dead on. The Christmas Eve game is really a game for Jalen. It's really a game for Jalen. It's his coming out party. You know, maybe he graduates from the little kiddie table to the big people table. You know, maybe he doesn't have to eat mac and cheese. Maybe he can have a turkey. You know, make sure you chew your food. Do you need any more Coke in your sippy cup? That's where he sits right now. He sits at the little kiddie table. It's all good. He'll graduate. Unlike Dak. Dak's been at the kiddie table for 5 years. He's getting a little wobbly in that little chair too, man. He's grown up now. You know, I mean, I got a grown up sitting with the little kiddie guys. Eventually, man, I'm going to have to throw him out of the house. Kids eat butter noodles at the kiddie table. Is that what Jalen likes? Jalen looks more like a steak eater. You know, he's a 650-pound squatter. Dual threat. You can't get over that. It just sticks in my mind. I mean, maybe we ought to make a Christmas album and get the guys like Kelsey and them dudes to make a Christmas album with Hurts. You know, we can, I don't know, dual threat. Maybe we can have an Easter album, you know, or a New Year's album or something. I don't know. Whatever. Right? You know, I can see Jalen dual threat, back the knife like that. Holy cow, man. This is too much. This is too much. The 49ers are playing the best football of any team in the NFC, and I'll tell you why. Look at the competition they're playing. and they're beating them up. Eagles are playing bums. Another bum team Sunday. Dual threat game. 88 rushing attempts. Last time I saw an 88 rushing attempt game, I watched Oklahoma when they ran to Wishbone versus Kansas in 1980. I think the Sooners ran for 700 yards. I think the Eagles could probably, I think the Eagles could actually break the rushing record in this game against Chicago on Sunday. Okay? I do, man. I do. Purdy will crumble once he faces a real D-line. Are you kidding me? Trent Williams is the best tackle in the game. He's the best tackle in the game, and he's paid like it. You see him last night? Dude, I will say this to you about the Niners. The Eagles have the best dual threat O-line and D-line in the league like they did in 17, and that means something. But the Niners have the two best players at those respected groups, Trent Williams and Nick Bosa. There's not a guy in Philly that's anything near Nick Bosa. Hey, and that sacking the quarterback last night and that penalty that Bosa got, there is no way Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White could play in today's NFL. And if you had a guy like Montana or Elway or, my God, Marino playing in today's game where you couldn't hit these guys, why do you think bums like Brock Purdy could play today? Why do you think bums like Blake Bortles can play today and throw for 400 yards? You know why? Because you can't hit them. Dude, back in the day, you got to separate spleens. You had to get the ball out. You had to know immediately. Jalen Hurts could never have played back in the day. Because you had to know exactly where to throw the ball, and you got murdered. They would murder him. The Reggie White defense, Gang Green, would murder Jalen Hurts. Because every time he took off running, they'd hit him late. They'd hit him. Brady wouldn't play as long as he is. No way. Absolutely not. Why do you think a guy like Brady could play 25 years? Because you don't hit him. You don't hit Brady couldn't play as long as he has. That's why everyone goes like this. Silz, who's better, Brady or Montana? Well, if Joe didn't get hit with Jerry Rice, what do you think would happen if he got a chance to play until he was 46? He'd have as many Super Bowls too. Joe had to leave the game because he got a beating. Longevity at the quarterback position, that's why dual threat doesn't make sense. To have that on your contract and on your salary cap. You're asking for trouble when you do that. Do you not understand that? Today's NFL is the quarterbacks don't get hit. But if my guy's dual threat, you're putting your quarterback in harm's way. Well, Silz, Kyler Murray got hurt outside the pocket. That's not the point. The point is he relies on that aspect of his game to win games, same as Jalen. That's why the rules today, you saw it last night on display on why it's important to have a drop-back quarterback. Because you can't hit him. I can hit Jalen Hurts. Taking off, doing something, him getting out in the perimeter and running and hurting his knee. Well, you ain't going to see any of those other guys like that. And by the way, if they are, that's not a part of their game. It's clearly not a part of their game. It's part of the dual threat. Okay? Nobody is going to build a team around a dual threat with what you saw last night with the roughing the passer. Think about that for a minute. Roughing the passer last night, Nick Bosa didn't do anything wrong last night. Nick Bosa sacked the quarterback, and they called a penalty on it. Jalen gets out in the open and gets it. Well, then he takes care of it. It doesn't matter. It's a matter of time. Josh Allen, too. How many times I keep going over this with you guys? They don't fix that. That's why a guy like Miles Sanders in Buffalo makes sense. I mean, Look at the rules that you saw last night on display. The rules show you why the league is still going. Do you know what they did last night to you guys? Silz, most players in the league aren't Nick Bosa. Okay, well, he's on the best defense in the NFL. He's more like Russell Wilson than Lamar Murray. But Brett, look at Russell Wilson today. In the offseason, they gave him $300 million because they thought he was Russell Wilson, and today he's a shot fighter. Come on, man. He's a shot fighter. He's a shot fighter. That is first thing I thought about last night when I saw Bosa. I was like this. If you're calling that roughing the passer, that's why it's even more essential you have a drop back guy and not a dual threat guy. Can you imagine that play could have really been an important part of the game in seeding if the 49ers had lost it because of that play. That play is exactly what the league wants. The league doesn't want dual threat. The league wants Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, and Burrow, not Jalen Hurts. It's why they don't promote you. By the way, the only reason this game is being looked at in any kind of light right now is because it's the Cowboys on Christmas Eve. If the Eagles were playing the Vikings, this would be another game on the schedule for Christmas Eve. It's the only reason. Hate keep doing this. Lamar Murray, hey, I'm not paying any one of the. By the way, I'm going to say it again to you about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's gamble has not panned out and played out and paid off. This is the third straight year he's been injured. I'm sorry. As great and as talented as he is, I'm not paying $250 million for a guy who can't finish the year. Why would you? Silz, he's very talented. Bro, Lamar Jackson can't finish a season. Right now, how about this? Don't you agree? Lamar Jackson not being on the field for the Ravens hurts their seeding and chances of making the postseason. Perfect example of a great quarterback in the wrong system. If you're talking about Herbert, absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, if I'm Justin Herbert's agent, I want out of Los Angeles. Who am I next? Going to be the next Dan Fouts and the next Phillip Rivers? Eli Manning and his father, Archie Manning, were right not to have him when he first initially was drafted by the Chargers and the Spanos family. He was totally right not to want to play in San Diego. He won 2 Super Bowls in New York with Jerry Reese and Tom Coughlin. There was stability in the front office. If I'm Justin Herbert, get me out of the Spanos family. They fire a 14-2 Marty Schottenheimer. They had one of the best rosters in the early 2000s instead of the Patriots. There was an AFC Championship game that Phillip Rivers was playing on one leg, and he almost beat Brady. They had Vincent Jackson, and they had all them great players there. I mean, LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, so many of those great players. Junior Seau, Rodney Harrison. And they couldn't do anything because ownership sucks. Dude, they had Drew Brees. Not only that, Fly, they had Drew Brees. And you know what their stupid ass did? Instead of putting Rivers in, they played Brees because they were trying to showcase him in a meaningless game against Kansas City. He blows his shoulder out, and guess what? They cut him. And the most prolific passer in the history of the NFL when he left the game was cut by the Chargers. You want to be involved in an organization like that? I don't. If I'm Justin Herbert, you put that dude Brandon Staley in there with me, get me out. Or hire me Sean Payton. Hire me Sean Payton. You had Lamar as the number 5 guy. You know, Bob, I did. And I thought about it after last night, watching the roughing the passer. And then when I heard he wasn't playing this weekend, I'm not paying Lamar Jackson $250 million. He can't finish the year. How many people here? Okay, how many people? This is after an M. So let's play out Lamar Jackson. Watch this. He had a Jalen Hurts year. Do you not agree? Xander, everyone, watch this one. What was the Baltimore Ravens record in 2017? The Ravens were 14-2 his MVP season. He hasn't finished the season since. And you want to give him $250 million? Would you? Won the MVP. Won the MVP. Would you give him $250 million? Would you give right now Lamar Jackson, as talented as he is, a 25-year-old guy? Would you give him $250 million? Hey, this is your guy. Chargers had Parsons' name as Sean Merriman. They had Sean. He was a great player, Sean Merriman. Yes, I would. Good luck to you. He can't finish a year. Don't worry, your guy will be there soon. All dual threat guys are. Dual threat.